Have the pledge of allegiance? No. You want to lead us, Councilman Whitener? Sure.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let it be known that all are present and we do have a quorum. Those who'd like to join me in prayer, please do. Lord, as you look down upon this humble city council, trying to do the best we can for our town and our citizens, please give us guidance and your blessing. We ask all this in your name, Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Can I have approval of the agenda?
Make a motion to approve the agenda. Second.
Been moved by Councilman Whitener, second by Councilman Nordine. We approve the agenda. Any discussion?
I think so. I had a business license permit that got submitted late for a building permit under 14D for a delay, a mild delay.
Building or business, you said both.
That building.
Okay.
Building permit under D,
14D.
14B.
D is David.
Make a motion to amend the agenda and add building permit 14D.
Building permit,
14D.
14D building permit. And who is it for?
Leah and Lyle delay.
Leah Bell.
Leah, a mild delay.
Okay. Been moved and second that we amend the agenda, add to 14 permits, we add B, building permit for Lyle and Leah delay. Been moved in
I'll second it.
been second by Councilwoman Hartke. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed the same. Motion passed. Now, the agenda has been, can I have a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
Make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Been moved by Councilman Whitener, second by Councilman Nordine. We approve the agenda as amended. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed the same. Motion passed on the affirmative. Any communication from citizens? Jay, I don't see you on the dock. Is there something you would like to? Did you want to discuss Windover Visitors Council? Any at all?
He knows here I can give because I don't have enough of give too much information.
I know me and you talked, but
I-
The council-
I-
the
I wanna
council
talk
has
to you
heard.
some more before I come to the meeting. But the lodging tax is up higher than it's ever been. Don't know exactly how many percents, but it's back. And they've rebuilt the website and it's supposed to be launched on 6th of May. And the community cocktail contest they're doing is underway and about to come to a head. Where all the bars are supposed to participate in the county for making a special drink, and then they're gonna dedicate it to something. And then Chris probably has more. Monday, we had a little meeting, we did the wayfinding signs. And kind of corrected some of the mistakes on them and
Mhm.
made the arrows go the right direction. And that's pretty much all I got.
What about your last meeting, the Windover Visitors Council took a vote to no longer bring their budget in front of the governing bodies as has been required in the
I'm
past?
not sure that's true.
Okay,
I'm still confused on that myself.
okay, I probably should have made a copy. I got a letter from them that
But
stated
Helen
that.
did say that they always send town hall a copy of the agenda before the meetings. That comes out to the town hall the same time everybody else gets them.
Okay,
So, because I asked her about that. So you probably get it before I do.
but in any event, the last meeting, they did go into executive session.
Yes.
And when they came out, they voted not to uh, present their budget to the governing bodies.
That wasn't the way I understood it, but maybe
Oh.
they did.
That was what the letter, yeah,
Well, that's what the letter said. That must be
Yeah.
what it was. But
yeah, that's what.
that's not
no,
the way I understood it.
That's what you told me, but that's what the letter explained to me that they were gonna, I should have printed a copy of that out. Maybe I'll print one out. and
I haven't
talk
seen
about
that letter
roundtable.
either.
Not, we're gonna vote on anyway. But yeah, that was, okay, but very, very good.
Okay.
Thanks
Thank you.
a lot.
Do you have any?
So, I'm still kind of new out here and I'm not quite sure how all this works, but I was trying to see if we had any general timelines on everything with the water being fixed properly and things like that.
What do you mean by the water being fixed
Uh,
properly?
I mean, if I go to take a shower and I close the door waiting on the water to heat up, I can smell what smells almost like sulfur from outside of the bathroom. It's cloudy and milky, like, I understand there's a difference between like safe and legal or whatever, but it's just something that I don't feel comfortable drinking and it
Oh.
seems like it's,
I can guarantee all of our water is good and safe to drink. Where do you live?
I live right back there by the train tracks.
On First Street?
Yeah, on First Street.
What's your address? I can write it down.
314,
314 First Street?
yeah.
Do you know anybody else having the same issues?
I've heard of people like when I'm working inside of the store talking about having, real low water pressure and like even at the fast lane over here, we had to shut the bathrooms down because
We've had an occasion.
And I understand like there's certain issues like that, but
When we were first bringing it on, we had some water pressure issues as our Public Works was adjusting that. But I have had, since the initial day, I haven't had zero problems at my house. I haven't heard anybody else complaining there. We have always at times, one well produces a little more odor than the others and depends on we've had that. But I'll guarantee our water is 100% safe. There's no problems with it. Our water is good.
no,
Go to Riverton,
I'm
go to
just,
Gillette.
I'm just new to the
Yeah.
area and I
Yeah.
didn't know like how long it was gonna be a project that was.
So to
worked
answer your
on or
question,
anything.
we're tracking it hopefully by the end of the month. It should be back on the tank. It just variables with the weather takes as a factor as well as the crew doing it. So they have to want to refurbish the tank essentially. It's for EPA guidelines and should have been done years ago, but that's why it's being done now. It was time to do it this time of the year,
No, I get it.
but it should be done here in about 2 weeks, hopefully.
Okay.
What they're doing is they're sandblasting the inside of the tank. The liner, I guess, had been needed repair. The coating on the inside, they gotta sandblast it all down to bare metal and recoat it is what's going on. And if it's ignored, it's gonna rust through was the need on that. But
Yeah.
I'm with you.
No, I was just curious because it was just a concern of mine.
Yeah. And
I'm not having it.
to clarify, cloudy, that might just be from the pressure when it first goes in, it appears cloudy. When it settles, it should be clear. I haven't seen that issue. The low water pressure sometimes, when you have a lot of people taking a shower at the same time initially in the morning, it does drop a little bit and usually the guys come in and try and make on the fly adjustments. And that's why it comes back pretty quick. They're doing the best they can as far as to manage that, but you can't really predict when someone's gonna take a shower and the whole town does it at the same time, flushing all at the same time. The odor, that's one specific well. It does have sulfur, but it is well water. So it is, much better than lake water, but it does, unfortunately, doesn't go through a treatment plant, and that's why you have some of that odor. Usually in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, it switches to a different well, so that kind of goes away. It's usually early morning hours that you have that. Just to
Okay.
help you, maybe time things a little bit different.
Doesn't have a tank to sit in.
Yeah, those things aren't settling out. We're operating solely on our wells and our well pressure.
Okay.
There's not a tank that we're filling into, so kind of describe it for you a little bit, catch you up to terms. The pressure of the well is all we're operating on, so the fluctuation in pressure is because of the well that we're under at that given time. The pressures aren't the same for each well.
Yeah.
Some of the other wells, when the water isn't being utilized as much, they have a pressure release on a fire hydrant at the end that is relieving the pressure because it's not going to the tank. So, and then on your smell order, you might be smelling some. There is a certain well that does have a little bit of an odor to it that you would smell direct to line. Is it not going to the tank? It is safe. It is drinkable. It is totally fine. You could probably pull the stats. Our engineer was here last week and answered some questions on that. And you're sure you're welcome to hop on YouTube and watch that meeting. Some of those questions were answered.
Okay.
But rather than kick the horse twice and
No.
beat it till it's sick.
No, I understand. I was just
No, they're
new,
all good
so
questions. I'm just trying to help you catch up to speed and not trying to make you feel any type of way, but I'm just answering your questions that you can catch yourself up to speed on that situation and make you familiar a little bit with what's going on.
okay. And I did have one more question, and that was, did we get any kind of like notices or anything sent out for them setting up the flare stack right next to people's homes and stuff?
No, that's bull alone.
Yeah, I measured it out and it's less than 500 feet from my house where they'd been doing those flare stacks. Legally, there's nothing that they can do wrong about it or whatever. There's not a distance requirement or anything, but it just kind of like a cautionary, like, hey, that seems like a red flag to be going on right next.
They're
to
not,
homes.
are they still doing it at the
They
same?
haven't done it for a few days, but for a while they were going, 8-12 hours a day sometimes and going till 9 o'clock at night. And it was allowed to, like, if there was some sort of an accident or hazard and something was to blow up out there, I don't know how all that works, but
Yeah,
that just seems like big, safety issues.
Yeah, they had to get clearance from the EPA. We don't have any
Yeah.
regulation on that. As far as a danger goes, there's not a explosion risk from that. It's venting out the gases and burning them out. So there's not propane leaking in the air and stuff. And
Yeah,
gases.
I kind of looked into it to see what they were doing and stuff. It was just one of those things that like, it's loud and going on all day, all night, and
I do believe the mayor kind of spoke to them. I thought that they were going to change their
Location.
of it after that initial
okay,
stuff.
Yeah, as soon as I became aware of it, I went and talked to him.
okay, all right, I appreciate that.
But I didn't know until you called, till someone called and then I was
I called
notified.
and was wondering
Yeah.
Yeah.
about it too. And
So hopefully
Yeah.
it's been addressed.
they're
Okay,
not
hopefully.
supposed to
Not-
do it
no.
on the weekend.
They're not supposed to run it on the weekend. They're supposed to
If-
be limited to 8 hours a day.
If
Okay.
that's being violated,
Yes.
that would be excellent to have notes of when, you know what I mean?
I can look it up, all the meetings going on, because I
Yeah.
did take a video of one of them, because it was going at almost 9 o'clock at night. And I'm pretty sure that was on like a Saturday.
Yeah, it's.
I don't know when that went into effect. I'm just going forward if there's any.
Yeah,
Oh,
Right.
going
okay.
forward, if it's going on during the weekend or something, we need to.
Yeah.
If you don't mind mentioning it.
Do you have one of my cards?
I do not.
Out the front or whether there's cards, my number's on it, call me anytime.
Alrighty,
And if something is going on that it's not supposed to be going on, we'll address it. But yeah, I didn't know nothing about it. Well, Jake was actually the person that brought it to my attention.
It's like,
And just end it real quick. If you have any other concerns, if you go on the town's website, there's a report of problem complaint and it goes to the mayor and I both.
okay,
So that's another way that after hours that you can. report things.
alrighty, sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I think the reason they burn it off to prevent explosion.
Yes,
Yes.
And they used to burn them off down the other end of town.
Jay, could you please come up here and,
Done. I'm done talking.
oh, okay, from now on, that's,
I know.
okay, you know, but
Well,
I,
that's what we were talking about, if we could get them to do it either closer to their shop or out across the road out by Muskrat, down by Muskrat Road or
Right.
something, not right by people's houses. That's just. Unless it was an emergency situation, I don't know. Where pressures were spiking, they couldn't get it moved for some reason or the other, I don't know.
that was the conversations I had with him,
Yeah,
exactly that.
that's how we flare tanks off.
Bart, you have your hand raised also?
I was just seeing this on Lord Roman and seeing if I have my permit.
Yep. It's on the agenda.
It's on the agenda. I didn't hear that. Thank you.
Any other communications from the audience? None being, let's move on, I guess. Consent agenda. Motion to approve pay application number 2, LCI Trucking for the trailhead of $102,860.30. And have a motion to approve.
We owe the money, right?
Yeah,
Well, I move that we approve.
and move to approve. Can I have a second?
Yeah, I'm missing something.
We need to have a second so we can go into discussion, usually.
I'm abstaining from trailhead project things.
Again, I ask for a second.
I'll second it.
Been seconded by Councilman Hardkey. Discussion.
I've drove down there countless times. And I'll just say it for the record, for anybody, whatever, I just think we've pissed a hell of a lot of money in the wind, what I've seen done there as far as progress. I do not think this was money well spent. I do not think the area was money well spent for the town. And I 100% believe we just pissed money in the wind. We literally built 2 pavilions on top of each other within 3 feet that are built in the size to cover 50 people at one given time, and put another one right next to it and built another one. I fully believe that this was a waste of money.
That being said, this project was approved and passed and moved forward. We put it out for bid, it was contracted. And we owe the debt.
Was it a state design?
There was no
For the
design.
projects?
We submitted the design to the state, they approved it, they approved the project, yes, they did.
What graphic designs did we ever have? I've never seen nothing. Did you? Did anybody else?
We had an engineer's design.
And who was the engineer?
EA. Yeah, E8, Lisa.
Interesting. It was her.
I had the same people say the same thing years ago about when we built our basketball court. That was a big battle.
Front and center or not front and center?
But this is something we voted on. We moved forward on. We contracted, we signed contracts.
What exactly have they done for $102,000? They brought in some road base, packed it in there. Our town guys took all the concrete and the courts out and everything else. They didn't do the removal of that. They tore out a bad bathroom, put a roof on another put some tin on an existing structure and built the same exact structure right next to the one that's already there. For 102,000, holy hell, sign me up. I need to get into this type of work.
Cause we don't even have bathrooms, do we?
Not yet.
But it's gonna be plus this?
Yeah, what was the whole total contract for, Chris?
237,905.
I thought it was more than that, actually.
Well, and then with a change order of 8,705. It brings it to 237.
And remind me of what the grant match was on this.
Well, it's paying 100% because it's ARPA money, so as long as we don't exceed, the total project was 300 and I can get the file, 364,000, I believe, is what we were awarded. The grant pays 310,000. So as long as it's under that, they're paying it back at 100%. If we go up to what we were awarded, that would be where our match would come in. So as long as it stays below that, it's being reimbursed at 100%.
As even with the grant being 100%, we could have found a better way. I mean, there was talks at one time of a splash pad. There was talks of one time at a BMX park for the kids. There was talks of several things that could have been utilized in a better aspect.
Councilman, it's a little late to discuss this. I just hate to tell you. This ain't the topic. I will say there was 114 applications when this grant was approved. There was 3 approved. This grant application was one of the 3 that was approved by the state parks. They felt this was a really good project. Is there other great projects or even potentially better projects? Yeah. But at the time when we submitted this, there was 114 applications. There was 3 approved, only 3 approved. It's less than 3% was approved. And the state felt this was a very good project. It's for rails and trails. They would not accept an application. This is for trails only. This application had to be associated with trails. They would not do anything for a skate pad, water pad, none of that stuff. They would not do anything for our city parks. They would, though, do something. They thought this was because of the amount of usage the rails and trails get used here in Fremont County. They felt that this was a good expenditure of their money. That was the state's.
The bridge is bad.
Pardon?
The bridge is bad on the rails to trails.
Yeah, I know that,
And that's a deal to take up with the commissioners.
So that's not actually,
but that has nothing to do with us.
you just said it was for the rails to trails.
Well, yes, it is, but that bridge, that has nothing to do with the town of Shoshone. That has
That's
nothing
how
to
you
do with
get
the
to
town of
that.
Shoshone.
Is on the rails to trails.
I just got one thing, if I may.
Please.
This has already been approved, and this is for approving paying this invoice.
Yes,
Okay.
that's
I think
that's
that-
all we're talking about.
Yeah, I
Should
think you
be,
need to stay on subject at this point,
correct.
payment.
We're committed. I don't see any other choice. Really.
I don't either.
Well, it's a breach of contract if we don't.
Yeah, that would be bad, right?
I mean, I understand the conversation, but
Yeah.
In this case, I'm just gonna say that like it or hate it, it's a contract unless we have a reason to say that they're in breach of their violation of the contract in some sort of manner, it needs to be paid.
So
Any further discussion? Any further discussion? None being, all in favor to pay application number 2 to LCI Trucking Trailhead for the trailhead for 102,860.30, say aye. Aye. Opposed the same.
I'm abstaining.
I have one abstention, Councilman Stetler. Motion passed unanimously. Thank you. Approval of the minutes, March 24th, 2026.
I move we approve the minutes from March 24th, 2026.
Been moved by Councilman Stetler, to approve the minutes. Second by Councilman Whitener. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion passed, all in the affirmative. Approval of bills, March 25th, 2026 through April 14th, 2026. Can I have a motion to approve?
Move we approve the bills, March 25th through April 14th of 2026.
Been moved by Councilman Stetler, we approve the bills of March 25th, 2026 to April 14th, 2026. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Nordine. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? None being. All in favor, say aye to approve the bills.
Uh,
Aye. Those opposed? Motion passed, all in the affirmative. Liquor license, Lucky Five. Can I have a motion to approve?
Make the motion.
Been approved by Councilman Hartke. Can I have a second?
Second.
Been second by Councilman Whitener.
Mr.
Are we
Mayor,
supposed to be having a public
this was a
hearing?
public
Oh,
hearing.
oh.
I move that we suspend the regular
Okay,
meeting and
yeah,
go into public
excuse me.
hearing for the liquor licenses.
It's been moved by Council Stetler. We
I'll second.
go into a public hearing. Second by Councilman Hartke. We go into public hearing to discuss liquor licenses. Any discussion?
We can do them both at the same time, I assume, or do we have to do it separately as?
If whatever the council desires.
Well, I did say licenses,
Yeah.
so if that's not illegal to do
No, we're just
both
gonna discuss both, but
issues at the same
it's
time.
a public hearing. We can discuss one at a time or both. We'll be doing both of them. Right?
Okay, as long as there won't be any issue if we do them both in one public hearing, that's how I made the motion.
Oh. Counselors or that any wrong? Public,
do
Jake's
both
question?
in one public hearing.
Yeah, just make sure you separate out what you're discussing specifically.
Okay. For the thought.
Make sure it's very clear.
Did I have a motion in a second?
You did.
Okay. Any further discussion? None being. Into public hearing, discuss liquor license. We'll start with,
All in favor, aye?
aye, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
both the same. Motion pass all affirmative. A liquor license, Lucky Five.
Make the motion to approve.
Moved by Councilman Hardkey to approve. Liquor license from Lucky Five. Can I have a second?
Don't we have to go back into regular session?
Oh, yeah, we do. We can't vote here.
It's a
We're in a
public
public hearing. Yep, you're right. So our discussion, that's where I was at.
So, the Lucky Five, is in good standing, no violations. They did submit their fee in full has been paid and no complaints from the State Liquor Commission, so that's from what's been submitted. Is any comments or questions, I guess?
Any comments from the audience? None be, I hear, we have no evidence, any negative at all.
No, no official correspondence, of
Okay.
complaints or anything. It is a full retail liquor license, includes the sale and, package and serving of liquor.
Okay. We move on down to Viva liquor license for the fast lane. What's your report on them, Chief?
Fastlane, has a second liquor full retail, permit for Shoshoni. Fees have been paid, no violations, no complaints, and they have, instituted some additional policies that they put in place just for better management of addressing things like tips and intoxicated persons consuming or buying alcohol. They have instituted on their own merit, their own policies that we're currently reviewing as well. So they are trying to make sure that they're doing their due diligence on being responsible.
I got a question, does, Tammy may have a good idea, but do they, Shoshoni, does the county anything offer? They have in Riverton, or did used to have bartender training? And-
It's tip certified,
Tip,
certification,
okay.
yeah. They can do it online now too. They don't have to even actually use, Tommy. And then
Okay.
they can do,
The college offers it as well through the workforce program through the college.
Currently, Shoshoni does not require that as part of our permitting process, but I believe Riverton, do they?
I think it's became a state now.
Bartender training.
They have to be tip certified.
Okay,
Through the
well, I think
workforce
I've
program.
Yeah,
been told that's
3
a good
months.
program.
Yeah, they have 3 months
Okay,
after that person is hired.
That's a 4 hour class. Is that right?
It's a 6-hour class,
Done in 4?
right person.
I'll follow up on that and make sure that we're in compliance, that they have, all their employees are.
And like I said, they can do it online too.
Obviously not to go to class.
Right.
do we have anybody online watching this?
Probably on YouTube, but not on Zoom.
Okay, so I don't know. Any comments from the audience? None being,
I move we go back into regular session and end the public hearing.
Second.
move second, we go back into regular session out of our public hearing. All in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed, same. What's our time, Chief, back into regular session?
7:33.
7:33, we're back into. Can I have a motion to approve? You want to do the liquor
move.
license, Lucky Five?
I'll move we approve the Lucky 5 liquor license renewal.
I'll second it.
Been moved by Councilman Stetler, second by Councilman Harkey, with approve the liquor license for the Lucky Five. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed the same. Motion passed in the affirmative. Can I have a motion to approve the liquor license for the fast lane?
I move we approve the liquor license renewal for Fast Lane.
I'll second it.
Been moved by Councilman Stetler, second by Councilman Harkey, that we approve the liquor license for fast lane. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye, those opposed, same. Motion passed all in the affirmative. We don't have any public presentations on the schedule. And department head report, police department.
I did pass a handout, just kind of going over various calls for service during the reporting period. We're starting to obviously get into spring. It's been pretty much spring all winter. We did have some issues with traffic complaints coming into town, just with the increase in traffic comes more complaints. We do check out each one of those and just try to make sure that they are driving safe, that it isn't something that's a hazard to the citizens as they come through town. We did have 2 ambulance calls that we responded to, as well as 3 additional medical assist calls where Frontier took over primary due to the time of it at night. We didn't have a driver for some of those. Continue to monitor be actively involved with our enforcement and for DUIs and anyone driving recklessly or intoxicated on the roadways. We did have 2 back-to-back DUI arrests in the same day within 30 minutes of each other, which was not really common for Shoshone. It just happened to be. People are enjoying the weather and that's part of what comes with it. Even though there's no ice to go fishing on, they apparently go fishing still. You can review the other calls for service. We did have 3 felony cases that were investigated and cleared. 2 arrests were made. And just Sunday we had we're involved with a stolen vehicle that was caught coming through town using our camera system that alerted us to the vehicle. We did make contact with the driver and handled that. And then we also had another request from Campbell County, a Crime Stopper tip, and that resulted in 2 additional arrests and seizure of 6 grams of methamphetamine and additional charges. Our call volume is a little bit down from 2025, but it's still up from 24-23. Last year was, I think, as I said, our busiest year that we've had called for service wise. So we're a little bit down, so not quite as many calls for service. But again, the majority of our calls for service are self-initiated. So their officers are actually looking and finding different things that need to be addressed, whether it be vandalism, DUI, controlled substances, things of that nature, is what the main thing that they're looking for, trying to deter. And our stats continue to, as I last report was the yearly report, trending in the right direction in pretty much every category. So we're still vigilant and will remain vigilant in enforcing those throughout the year. We are fully staffed and have remained that way, no turnover, and it's been a nice period of time to be with the reorganization. The structure has allowed for a lot of other times for other things and not overtaxing officers or myself and too many hours every week after week. So it's been positive. And as summer comes to, or spring comes to a close and summer is about to begin, we will be changing some of our hours of double coverage where we have more than one officer out just because more things happen, and having just one officer during those heavy hours is sometimes hard to manage the whole town, even though it's a small town. But when there's 3 or 4 things going on at different locations with one officer, so we will be looking at the overlap of our schedules to make sure we have maximum coverage during the more busy times.
I hear a lot of good comments about our PD. I think I might have already met Wikipedia does not list us as a speed trap anymore. Can't tell you how many letters and stuff and emails that I've sent to them trying to explain that to them. But anyway, they finally removed that. Because pulling someone over at 48 miles an hour in a 30 is really not a speed trap.
Well, I think our title shifted to a different community within Fremont County that now holds that title. No names.
I don't know, our attorney, the opposing attorney today said he saw that on Wikipedia.
Speed trap? Did you look at it recently? I just looked at it, wasn't there.
I don't know if it was recent.
It used to be. It got removed about 2 months ago.
Oh, did it?
Yes.
Yeah, well, he brought it up today.
Yeah, we joke about it down in Cheyenne. Down there, all the legislators, but in any event. Talk about that in malls. But my response is our officers are protecting our citizens. That
I never have been.
48 and a 30 is not a speed trap. Yeah. Any other questions or comments for the chief?
2 per lot.
None being. We'll move on. A business license for Destiny Sanborn Rocky Mountain Remodels LLC. Steve, can you talk about that?
Calls, when they're doing work on Wiley and, you know, he's not. That's the.
They give us any other, where are they from?
Demopolis.
From Thermopolis?
Move we approve the business license.
Second.
Been moved by Councilman Stedler, second by Councilman Whitener, that we approve the business license for Rocky Mountain Remodels LLC. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Both same. Motion passed, only affirmative. Building permit for Bob Britton. Chief, could you talk about that?
This is. Would be a corral, listed as 66 by 50 feet. There's a diagram provided. Adjacent to the existing corral, I believe.
Yeah, and it's already built.
It's
It's been
yeah.
built for like 4 years.
Okay.
I mean.
Good. Bobby, could you please identify yourself? That way we got record.
History on it. I gave the town a 35-foot right of way on Herbst Road.
Yes.
And this was with Bud Kerr, the mayor. And the city put the water into that corral because of that. We kind of just traded. And they knew we were going to build a corral there. Dale Sanders built a corral there. And he was married to Lacey Thompson. And so what we did is just tear the old corral down, what was left of it, but that corral. And I apologize. If I knew I needed a building permit, I sure.
Yeah, I know you would have. I know you would have.
I'm not trying to hide it. It was out there in the open. But that's the history on it. And, you know, the city did all that for kind of giving that right away, you know, through
Yes.
at that time. And you looked up some of the fencing. It was exactly right. I supplied the material. The city
Correct.
paid to build the fence. And that's all the history on it, is that the city did all that.
Correct.
And so we could put a corral there. And it's not a corral to keep livestock in. And I know you've seen some other panels there.
That's when I got nervous when I seen that whole semi trailer getting.
No, that's just some freestanding panels that I'm making a cow corral out on the ranch. And I just stored them there.
Staging area for.
Well, actually it came in the evening and I said, just pull over and we'll unload them. But I'm loading some of them out now. But no, we're not building no big corral. It's just to keep a horse in once in a while. And there's a broken legged horse in there right now, and we keep another one, or there wouldn't even be a horse now.
Yeah.
But basically, I throw a horse in there because I gotta drive to Waltman 50 miles.
You bet.
And we're not gonna keep a ton of animals. They're just a horse once in a while.
Right.
Now, she had the idea, Christine, to board horses. That's why more pens were built, but there's no one boarding horses, so. You know, she'd have to get a business license for that, you know, but
Mhm.
that's all that there is. But like I say, I apologize. I sure would have got a building permit right out in the open there.
Right.
I didn't know that there was a
What's that?
crowd. I did not even know there was a crowd there years ago. I guess I never,
Well,
I never looked.
it was a portable corral and some of the woods piled up there that I gotta clean up still yet, but there was a windbreak that Daryl put up there. But he got busted for meth and went to jail, so that was the end of that.
And Bob, really, we're just, have you noticed, we're trying to clean up our process to make sure that we're getting building permits, getting business licenses and doing things appropriately for everybody. And so that's just cleaning this up.
Yeah, and yeah, like I say, if we're doing business there, we'll damn sure get a business license. And if we build anything more there, we will tell you, but
You bet.
I doubt I do. You know, and the windbreaks are portable. You can pick them up with a Bobcat,
Mhm.
but that's all I gotta say.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming down, Bob.
We approve, permit.
Bobby. Yes.
I move we approve the permit.
I'll say.
Been moved by Councilman Stettler, second by Councilman Whitener. He beat you by a split second, I think. So approve the building permit for Bob Britton. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed the same. Motion passed, all in the affirmative. Thanks a lot. You're legal. Yeah.
You built it in 30 seconds. You built it in 30 seconds.
Thank,
A group of aliens knocked her out.
I think if
Done now.
I had that place, I'd dang sure want to do exactly what you're doing too.
C, animal permit, Bart Baroman. Discuss that, chief.
Yes, Mayor. So Barbara Roman put in as per our ordinance, a request to have chickens. As stated in the section 520. Along with that, he did submit a sign off on his adjacent neighbors, yay or nay. And so he followed all the procedures, all of the processes for the permit as outlined in city ordinance, and recommend approval.
Make a motion to approve Bart Roman's
Second.
application for chickens.
Been moved by Councilman Whitener, second by Councilman Harkey to approve the application for chicken. Did we do a thorough background check on? Of course, I'm joking since Bart
Well-
was town employee, but.
I mean, I think they're some, Asian chickens or something, because they,
Oh.
yeah, they're special.
Yeah. Anyway,
So it seems like there's a pile of places in town that do have chickens without a permit.
Or ducks, or
Or
geese,
ducks,
Or
or
turkeys.
geese.
or whatever.
And I wonder if
else.
it would be appropriate to send out a letter to
Everybody,
remind them that you ain't got a permit for you, not for the property, for you on that property. You can't have them.
well, you do water needs, you probably ought to know how many free range poultries are running around.
I don't know how many's permitted, put it that way.
Yeah.
Well, I know there's about 16 just north of my house that aren't in the fence and just running on all over the place.
free range.
On Second Street too. They're
Free
running
eggs.
across the-
That,
So I wonder, does that apply if your dog catches them like that, Cause I think it's like $50 a head, or maybe it's $10 or something. I don't remember what the state statute is if your animal kills a chicken.
I believe it's replaced.
Jordan, I've met your dogs, and I think the chicken's gonna win.
I was just
I
gonna
will not
mention,
say it for the record or not the record, but there was a dog running down the alley with a chicken in its house last week.
I got a tall fence.
I had one that moved
I wanna keep
underneath my deck. Took me.
Yeah, well, she got ate by a fox.
Oh, she did? She
Yes.
was a good chicken too.
I know she was.
I
She ended
was-
up at our place and she got integrated into the whole herd of chickens and was doing awesome. We got decimated last year.
I was originally, my property was privately owned, I was designated. And I had chickens before and the roosters. And I was making sure I could have a rooster. I checked with my neighbors and they said wouldn't bother them at all. My wife is kind of attached to my son's rooster.
It's not the only one in town.
It's not,
It's not.
There's no rooster out there. I've not heard of any
get out in the
complaints.
open on it. Yeah.
I haven't heard any complaints
rooster,
about a
not
rooster.
chicken.
Must not be one.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
If there was one out there, certainly somebody would complain. There's been no complaints.
Yeah, if
Must
we
not
receive
be
a
one.
complaint, we'll look into roosters, but we haven't
Yeah.
received any
Right.
complaints officially.
All right, sounds good to me.
We've only denied one permit and it was for geese in a trailer park.
Right. by
Yeah, that was
school.
those.
Those
yeah.
were those like African New Guinea. geese.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The reason I mention that is all these people that have these chickens ought to just get their dang permit. Or ducks or geese.
Remember they had like a 12-foot wingspan or something on them? Or there's something different.
Yeah, they're like guard chickens or something. I don't know.
Guard geese.
They're guard geese,
They
yeah.
were different, and they were in a camper spot.
They needed one.
I don't think they
So-
did 12.
I got lost where we at on.
We got a vote.
We're ready to vote. We had a discussion, right? All in favor to approve the animal permit for chickens for Bart Brom, say aye.
I,
Aye. Those the same. Motion passed all in the affirmative. Building permit. For Lyle and Leah Delay.
Gonna be a attached garage with a kitchen extension. And it is Rocky Mountain remodels, the previous business license that was approved is stored there. And it's gonna be at 105 California Street.
California first.
Mhm.
Looks like it just a breezeway between the garage and the house.
And yeah, here's the map that they,
So the blue is what they're adding.
Yeah, looks like a,
Setbacks seem good.
A motion to approve.
Wait a minute,
I move we approve the building permit.
second.
Been moved by Councilman Steller, second by Councilman Councilman Whitener that we approve the building permit for Lyle and Leah Delay. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye. Well, motion passed, all in the affirmative. Airport hangar and policy and regulation. Councilman Whitener, would you take the lead on that?
Yes, sir.
it's gonna be, the handout. Paperclip handout.
I did some, yeah.
This is we had a work session, and this is what we've adopted. to go forth with an aircraft hangar and lease standards. Much of this is just piggyback off of other municipalities. Just kind of get with the times. But anyways. Aircraft hangar lease standards and maintenance requirements. Purpose, these standards ensure aircraft hangars located on property owned by the town of Shoshoni are maintained in a safe, structurally sound, and visually acceptable condition. Hangar structures must not create hazards to aircraft operations or public safety. Number one, ownership and responsibility. The town of Shoshoni owns the land and runway. Hangar tenants lease the ground from the town. Hangar structures are the responsibility of the tenant, including construction, maintenance, repairs, insurance, and demolition if required. Number two, structural condition requirements. All hangars must remain structurally sound. Examples of structural concerns include rotting or deteriorated post frame / pole barn posts, damaged, sagging, cracked, or rotting trusses or rafters, structural beams showing rot or corrosion, structural leaning or shifting. Required actions may include repair, reinforcement, or replacement. Number three, exterior material standards. The following materials are prohibited due to debris risks. Fiberglass sheet panels, loose plastic or polycarbonate siding. Acceptable materials include steel siding, aluminum siding, engineered metal panels, or other durable materials approved or pre-approved by the town. Number four, roof requirements. Roofs must be securely attached, have no missing panels, prevent debris from blowing onto the runway. Metal roofing is strongly recommended. Number five, wind and weather resistance. Building must be properly anchored, maintain secured siding and roofing, have doors capable of latching, especially during the high winds of this area. Number six, appearance and property maintenance. Tenants must maintain a clean lease area. No excessive junk or scrap materials, no abandoned vehicles or equipment, vegetation controlled, no debris capable of blowing onto the runway. Number seven, aviation use requirement. Hangars must primarily be used for aircraft storage, aircraft maintenance, aircraft aviation equipment storage. Hangars may not primarily be used for non-aviation storage or residential use. Number 8, safety and fire prevention. Tenants must maintain safe conditions, including proper fuel storage, no open burning, safe electrical systems that are up to code. Code follows with new buildings. The current situation, we understand that some things were built a long time ago, so they just need to be safe. You do need to have a fire extinguisher in that is current and punched current in your hangar, because there is not a hydrant out there. Fuel containment. Fuel containment, the structure from Grable before, they mentioned that their fuel containment is, they have different variations of their gas. Their fuel is put into concrete blocks. Some of them have fire retardant on them, XYZ, but you need to have your fuel cans in some sort of containment. Abandoned and neglected structures. Indicators of abandonment include structural collapse, missing roof or siding panels, long-term neglect. The town may require repair, removal, or cleanup. Number 10, hangar reconstruction and new construction. New construction requires your building permit and town approval. Materials must be durable and suitable for aviation structures. And new construction, all must be up to current code. 11, right of inspection. The town may inspect hangars periodically for compliance. Number 12, transfer of settled hangars. Hangars may not be transferred or sold without notifying the town and requiring the new owner to accept the lease standards. 13, compliance period for existing hangars. Existing hangars will be given a reasonable time frame to comply as determined by town council. Typical timeline will be 30 to 60 days for common maintenance issues. Immediate action for safety hazards relies on that 30 to 60 day time frame. 90 to 180 days for anything that's major or structural repair will be the time frame for major structural repair. Number 14, minimum hangar size requirement. That relies into a new hangar, new build. And that will be 40 by 40, 36 foot door opening, concrete or hard surface floor with a 10-foot high door. Hangar spacing and setbacks, obviously what's there is grandfathered in, but going forward, hangar should maintain safe spacing between buildings and remain outside runway safety areas. Typical spacing recommended is 10 to 20 feet between structures. And Vermont, Riverton, DuBois, Grable, they all follow that. Number 16, notice of violation and enforcement. If violations do occur, the town may issue a written notice identifying what violation to notice, an action that's required to fix it, and the timeline that falls into that based off that 30 to 60 or 90 to 180 days. So the idea behind that is we're not trying to run you out of town, trying to see you get it fixed. 16, if the leaseholder fails to correct violations, the town then may terminate the lease, remove unsafe structures, and clean up the leased area. Any costs incurred by the town for demolition, removal, debris cleanup, or corrective work shall be the responsibility of the leaseholder. The town may recover the cost by billing the leaseholder directly or through legal means if necessary. Number 19, we decided that going forward, coming in June at the new fiscal year, there will be a hangar structure removal deposit. Existing structures will fall into the realm of $1,000, and that is fully refundable. And newly built will be $2,000. It's refundable. If it's not taken care of, there's no added cost to the town. Number 20, requirement on newly built is the 2,000.
Did you mention, did I miss it, liability insurance?
The liability, it's not on this packet. I think we're missing a page, but
What's
It's right there.
right here on mine?
what number is that one?
17 and 18.
8. Oh,
17 is size, 18 is
yeah, I
liability.
must have skipped 18. Did I skip 18?
Think so.
18, my bad. 18 was 250K liability on existing structure and 500K liability on new is what's recommended. And the town to be listed as an additional insured.
I had some concern on the limits of liability. I don't know what the cost of a hangar for that much liability would be. It's, the town has to have negligence, don't we, for us to be sued? I'm
Yes,
asking our attorney.
typically, yes.
I mean, so we're somewhat pretty sheltered, far more than an individual is.
Yeah, it'd have to be something that would fall under the Wyoming Governmental Claims Act. So still, you can require the owner to have insurance and indemnify the town for anything that they're negligent for.
I'm just wondering if those amounts could be cost prohibitive. And is that actually something that we need if they signed a release? I believe the town of Shoshoni did work something like that out in the past where they did that. Al, do you have any comments? Al Kenyon, do you have any comments on that you would like to add? Could you please stand up? I pick on everybody that way.
My name's Al Kenyon. I'm leasing space number 3 at the airport. In January, I got an eviction notice. Non-compliance to whatever, but there were no regulations, no building what you expected or anything else. So, but anyhow, now I haven't checked lately. When I first got the lease out there, and that's been probably 15, 20 years ago, I checked on insurance. It was prohibitive because of the location. It's a dirt strip, and insurance companies is,
No fire hydrant.
yeah, if you want insurance, it's going to cost you a whole bunch. Like I say, I haven't checked lately, and then when I renew the lease, which I renewed again, I feel I self-insure the building out there, and if whatever happens with it, that's my personal feelings. We're a small town. You can look at Riverton, you can look at DuBois. DuBois is a tourist town. DuBois has put in a fancy runway, all this to try to attract tourists and other people. I doubt that there's 10 landings at this airport out here in a month. I live just straight east of the airport, and they would come right across in front of my house to land. And you very seldom see anybody land out here. Right now, my airplane is sitting in Riverton being repaired. The hangar next to me, I have never seen anything other than it's stacked full of antique aircraft. The next hangar is the original hangar at the town of Shoshoni. It was the first hangar that was ever built. The other one is a nice building. The gentleman owns it, he's got a little bit of money and he built a real nice one. To me, if the building is safe and structurally safe, that's all that's necessary. If you want to come in and you want to set some standards, that the building has to look like this, it has to be this size and all that, that's fine. But we need to know, whoever's leasing that needs to know that ahead of time, so that we can comply with it or donate the building to city of Shoshone.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do right now, Al.
I think the goal here is to make it hard on anybody. But when we go out there and our maintenance guys go out there and lay bad or whatever, and they're calling and saying, man, these things are falling in and there's pin blown all over the runway out here. And we have the ones that are landing. I understand there's not a ton of people landing, but they're calling and saying, there's a sheet of another piece of plastic laying out here on the runway.
Well, if the wind has been blowing, and it could be coming from anywhere.
Except when you go and look at the buildings and they're missing the sheets.
Right. I understand that.
Gotta fix out like a sore thumb, but
And
they've been neglected for a while. So there's two more than others.
mhm.
But and I don't think yours is too bad. I don't believe so.
I don't think it is. I have, to be honest with you, I haven't been out since these high winds, and
I don't think 3 is I think it's 2 and 4 then.
yeah. 3 is the first one you come to.
Well, we're viewing them as,
The second one you come to and then the last one are the good ones. So
yeah,
the
Yeah.
first and third that you come to are the bad ones.
Yeah, I don't know how you got them numbered out there, because my lease says space number 3.
It was the way Al's lease, the way it was originally done, the number 1 is like in the 3rd spot. That was the first one that was built.
Yeah.
So that was originally the old number 1. So we're just going by 1, 2, 3, 4, the way they are in order.
Yeah.
But the way they were originally numbered, Al schooled me on this the other day. He'd been involved with planes out here for a long time.
Yeah.
Him and his brother. But anyway, and I forgot George Bloomquist had number 2,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I understand. That's
Yeah.
number 2.
But I remember he had one out there.
He was the 3rd one built.
Or 3rd one, okay, yeah,
The one I've got was built by Jim Gay originally.
yeah.
does yours have the outhouse on it?
Pardon?
Does yours have the outhouse on it?
No. The one with the outhouse behind it is the original hangar. It was built by a gentleman named Larry Forrester. Back,
The other ones are probably savable. One with the outhouse.
yeah,
I'm not
that
sure.
one there has, I know, in fact, you can't even put an aircraft in it right now.
I don't know that you'll ever be able to. I'm afraid if you open the door, it's gonna crack.
Yeah, it won't come down, I can guarantee that, but because years ago, probably about, well, yeah, close to 40 years ago, we put that steel pipe across the front of it. Oh, it's holding up, it'll hold up. Well, like I say, it's so short that any aircraft, at one time, my brother owned it. In fact, I think he sold it to a guy out here south of town. But you had to dig a trench with that tail dragger aircraft. You had to dig a trench about yay deep to run the back wheels into to clear the tail on it. So it's, like I say, that one really is not, it's not a, I don't know, of course, I'm be honest with you all, I'm dead against of destroying history. We can go out there and we can put a bunch of fancy stuff and it's not helping nobody. To be honest with you. So. That's about all I've got to say about it. And it, you know, you guys can come up with whatever rules and regulation wants, but I'd like to be informed of what we need to comply. You know, and I know the FAA rules, a lot of the FAA rules, like one that you mentioned, there can't be anything in that hangar but aircraft type stuff. It's also up to the city or the owner of that airport where they want to fully enforce the FAA rules. You know, you have control of it. In my understanding, I don't think you're getting anything from the FAA or the Wyoming Aeronautical DOT. You
Yeah, we're not.
know, therefore, you have 100% control over this airport to do however you want to do it. And as a leaser, I got full authority to either lease it or get out of there or whatever you want to require.
Are you suggesting now that we should try to get a fund to resurrect that first one as a historical?
Yeah. Yeah. That's something that could be done, you know, and have some signs up, you know. For some reason, I don't know why. Well, part of it is cost because aviation fuel right now is way up there. I mean, you think it's high for a pickup. But and people are the people that just hobby flying around are not spending the money. And that's one reason we're not having the traffic out here. You know, and you know, years ago, and I think, well, Joel will remember, I know for sure, Ellery Bird was the maintenance man here in town. If we had a rain, that man was out there at midnight blading that runway.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think I haven't been out there lately. I don't think it's been bladed for what, over a year now?
Yeah. Think
At least.
Just do a little bit of research on it.
Yeah.
In
I know we
regards-
used to have a drag out there. We'd drag it and a previous council says private individuals cannot do this. But they wouldn't take a blade out there and blade it. Oh, there's a lot of things that have went on in the past, you know. It's
Marshall, did you want to
yeah,
add something?
Yeah, so anyways, under the Wyoming Governmental Claims Act, the town can only be sued for negligence or any sort of tort that happens that's allowed under statute. Operations and lack thereof and maintenance for airports is one of them in which the town can be sued for liability.
So that's what I was gonna say. What
Yeah.
we're establishing guidelines. And as long as we enforce those guidelines, that does protect us and
It helps you protect you some, but obviously not everything. That's where the insurance would come in to cover
well, I think
the liability for anything that would happen, and then as well as indemnification clauses in the leases and requirement for liability insurance.
well, if I may, I believe in that lease agreement that you have, it says by signing this, you indemnify the town of Shoshoni for basically anything that goes on, which pretty well covers it. And it's damned hard to sue a city.
Unless it's statutorily authorized, which it is.
Yeah. But like I
So-
say, where you sign that, you're indemnifying the town of Shoshone from any liability whatsoever. And I think you find that that's,
But
I think what Marshall is telling us that if they could sue you and sue the town, and if they got all your money, then they could go after us for, is that what?
Yeah, whatever we see the property, the hangar, let's say their home's only worth, a couple $100,000 and they only have a couple $100,000 in the bank. It's a multi-million dollar, or it's $1 million suit. Town's gonna be on the hook for the rest.
I don't think so.
Absolutely.
Good.
That's the way it works.
Hmm.
So if you don't have an insurance to cover it, or the town doesn't have a separate insurance,
Well, the town we do, but is there a need of having? Of course, I know anything, 100,000 isn't nothing, but
my advice would be that there'd be a requirement for whoever's leasing it to also have liability insurance and to indemnify the town.
do you think it needs to be 500,000?
Whatever the insurance carriers would suggest, I'd talk to them, but I would suggest at least 500,000. I mean, if there's a fire that gets started and damages other properties, I mean, goes up pretty quick.
So if there was a fire at, say, Al's hangar and the fire went over and burned up the next two hangars.
Or even someone's home way, didn't get under control, right? I mean, damage any kind of property, cars, whatever. I'm just throwing stuff out there, right? I mean, there's a million different scenarios that can happen.
Okay.
It
Well,
doesn't take much to go through $500,000 anymore. That's my opinion as far as if you want the legal end of it.
We do.
Yeah.
But I also gathered on that if there's not any runway maintenance, the town has liability issues there.
Yes.
That's what I thought I
There's a
heard.
potential. There is a potential.
Somebody hits a pothole, rips their landing gear off, prop hits the ground, need an engine overhaul. There's a potential problem.
Municipalities governmental agencies can be sued for negligent operations of airports.
That's all I'm trying to do is protect us.
Well, I understand that, but
Not everybody's Al Kenyon.
yeah. I just, I'm of the old school.
Not everybody's a handshake and a see you down.
Well,
the
that's
road.
what I say. I'm old school and I realize with today's society, it's a Sioux society.
It is.
It is.
And that's bullshit, pardon my French, but anyhow, well, I appreciate you letting me come up and have my say. And if you come up with some concrete requirements out there, then I'll make a decision whether to meet them or I'll tear the building down or I'll donate it to you.
Thank you, Al.
For
Thank you.
historical purposes.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. And yeah, that's I think you did a really good job on putting this together, Jordan.
I just called all the airports that we
Sure.
are similar to and compiled as much information as I could. I know we're not landway as similar as everybody.
Well, they're even Du Bois has got or one thing, if we had an airport that we paved the runways and everything, then there'd be more, especially if we took money to help do it. They've sort of been getting YDOT has sort of been giving us time to put that fence up. But if there was, but if we had more improvements, that would put more requirements of the town for maintenance than what we have. And we typically try to blade it at least once. And that was one of the reasons we were looking at trying to get a water tanker, water truck. That would enable us to, instead of waiting on the rain, we go out and actually do work like that when it's not raining. So
Do we have extra liability because it's a dirt runway instead of a paved runway?
Boy, I couldn't tell you. That would be an insurance question.
I mean, cause just go down any 2-track and you've got all sorts of stuff on it. I know this isn't a 2-track and I know it gets bladed, but it seems rather fragile in that regard to me.
it's, no, I'm no attorney, but I'm a pilot and we are listed. This is listed as an official airport, but it's listed as a dirt runway.
I have no
So,
idea, but-
so I don't either, but I mean, it's sort of like buyer beware type. I would think, but I don't know if that's any truth, but they know what they're sort of getting into. Anyway, I used to have a brother-in-law used to fly down here,
We ain't touching that. That's. the
come down
county
to go
commission
shopping at
deal.
Sid's. For one, and come have lunch and go shopping at the Gamble store. Brother-in-law and sister would do that, but
That's out of city limits. It's a county run deal, the Fremont County. Correct.
So what do we do with
That.
this wonderful project that Jordan put together?
I think we need a motion to approve it. Approve the suggestions. And else there's if any in discussion, if there's anything we don't want to change or.
Actually, yeah, well, you don't have anything to actually move forward with yet. My
Okay,
suggestion would be if you want something, you can just have a consensus to have me or Chief Kojai put together, a lease on with those for you to approve later.
I'm glad I thought of that.
Cause right now it's just bullet points from what I can see.
Well, this is something I think, these are the standards we wanna. Follow.
I mean, we can look into that piece.
So we could move this toward you and that part could be resolved in the process of bringing it out.
Yeah,
Because
you guys can do your research and determine whether or not you want, how much insurance you want to require
liability.
lessees to have
Breach of that. Okay.
liability insurance to indemnify the town.
So does that need to be done before we pass it on to you? Or does it need to be, can it be done?
No, it can be done after. I mean, you guys can just figure it out and then the rest of it. And then when it's finalized for the final vote, have it in there.
I could reach out to our liability pool and see what they suggest. It's a state, I guess. Just,
So that makes sense to me. So I guess we're tabling this then, right? To do some,
we
Not
wanna,
tabled.
is there anything else? Do you wanna handle that, Jordan? Do you want me to call the state liability pool or do you wanna?
I'll let you call, that's fine.
Okay,
That's the only thing we.
that's really that's the only thing. We got anything else? Anybody had any?
On the, I had one concern with the hangar structural removal deposit. I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but if we're demanding repairs and this and that and a deposit and all that, it could become cost prohibitive. So if that was to be implemented, I think we should stretch that out on a long enough time frame that it doesn't cripple anybody or be prohibitive. I don't disagree with your thought or your idea. That was just one comment I had, is that
I'm good with that.
if we, you got, a year or within 2 years or something, especially if we're requiring an investment now for the structural integrity and this and that and that, and that, it may be too much, but as long as there wouldn't be an issue with policy's good, but pushing it out so that's a reasonable
I
time.
think that's more than fair.
So 90 to 365 days, something like that? Or year, or
I don't know.
I think even 2 years is fair. I mean, a lot of these hangars have been leased for 15 to 20 years. So my personal standpoint is, I think that's more than sufficing.
And I know that's just of your package. It's just a teeny little part of
I
it.
think that's fair.
You definitely put a lot of work on this. I commend you for that.
I think that's fair to me, but I'm one person.
I agree with that. As far as the insurance requirements, it's what our insurance recommends, I guess. I would be very curious what they say.
too.
Hate to price anybody out of having a hanger on a dirt track. Or on.
Right.
But it has to, we have to step up our standards or else it'll never be nice either.
I think that the proper construction or liability probably goes down quite a bit.
Yeah, I wouldn't think, I don't know. I mean, it's liability, because you gotta have plane insurance regardless, it'd be liability on your structure, I guess.
But liability, say if someone, I went out to a trip and fell and broke my leg on Al's, on Al's leased. I said, Al, if I went out there, tripped and stumbled around and broke my leg on, by next year hanger, I could maybe sue you and the city both. I don't know, I'm making a joke.
Might get shot.
Yeah, might get, yeah, that would probably prohibit, it would prevent me from doing that, because I do have knowledge of you, yeah.
I understand where you're coming from. The world has went to hell,
Yeah, I agree,
but
The idea that positive is to be able to.
so,
virtually.
find a reason, trying to find a reasonable solution.
Yeah, it's like,
You know, if I may say something, you know, we're leasing all of the four of us out there that are leasing those hangar spaces. We also, we're paying, well, used to pay $10 a year. Now we're up to $200.
I just, I'm worried about.
We're getting nothing.
Then it just goes, that's another going on forever. Maybe it's 1 year and then.
Whatsoever.
Extensions.
Other than her-
Comes on board and give them.
Maybe it's a poor word, but other than harassment,
So I think.
that's the shape of our hangar.
Yeah, well, that's definitely not our intent, we're just trying to make the hangars better. I think that's all, and it's, your plane gets fixed, you'd have another place to park your plane. Multiple garages. But I do appreciate your input. You've been involved with those out there longer than anybody else in town. Yeah. So we're gonna move that on and try to gather more information and proceed to give Marshall more information and have him put together a lease that reflects that. Okay. Do we need to just put this in a lease, or do we need to codify any of this, or,
No, I think it's just going in your lease.
okay. Very good, appreciate it. Do you have anything you would like to add, Councilwoman Harkey?
Yeah, I have people complaining about the bike path. The city before kept it up with all the cracks and everything, and nobody's doing that lately. I didn't know,
We'll have to look at it at our budget session
right?
and talk with our public works. And see if we can't do something. Good point.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people use that bike
Yeah,
path,
good point.
so.
If they don't complain, I don't use it, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. so-
Yeah, so, yeah, very good. Anything else?
They have some questions too about the bridge that it was a city's, but it's something that we need to,
That ain't
Dig
the
into.
cities.
Oh,
it just said that they did repairs and, Boy Scouts and volunteers, fire department all got together and laid the timber on the bike path. We were never allowed at the time to drive across the bridge, but that's gotta be county, not us.
they're talking about the bridge across Poison Creek,
No, crossed, is
Rails
it Poison
across.
Creek? Yeah,
or where?
for the trailhead.
Yeah, that's the county.
That's what I thought too.
That's, we have nothing to do that. They gotta go through Councilman Stetler's property to get there.
You can stick your finger in the cracks and them pillars.
I know.
That's a county deal. Town don't need to touch that.
No, we
Too
don't.
much liability.
We don't want nothing to do with that.
So like that.
Councilman Stetler,
No, I'm good.
Councilman Nordine.
I've got two things. One, it was mentioned in the minutes last time about the strategic plan, and we had talked about a work session on that. When? You know, when's a good time to work that?
I suggested making that part of a budget work session where they're combined, so it's the same day, do that and then move into the budget, but that was, if you remember, that's what I suggested. I don't know. If you want to do that
I'm
or
fine
not.
with that. I just don't want it to be on a shelf somewhere and it just gathers dust.
No, I don't either.
Yeah,
Want to talk anything about your grant application?
well, that
You
was my
just-
second thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So, last Friday, submitted a Wyoming Outdoor Recreation and Tourist Trust Fund grant. There we go. It just goes by TTF. And what it was, it had to do with recreation. So it's a state-sponsored grant for recreation types of projects. And spent quite a bit of time talking, thinking about it. We talked about it in our A2A committee, and then we all had some conversation. So certainly wanted to go ahead, and the concept was to try to do something for the rifle range. So that was the big idea. And the rifle range is I mean, it's just begging for projects to be done out there to kind of remove hillsides, grade the ranges, build up further berms, maybe extend back, the rifle part from 200 to 400 yards. I mean, just different things. And getting access to the second pistol range, which if you're shooting on the first one, you can't really allow people to go on the second one because they're in front of the firing line. I mean, that makes no sense. So just trying to do some structural things there. Anyway, there are a bunch of projects, bunch of things that were required, bids and whatever to try to make that happen. And then Joel says, what we should do really is probably have a master plan for this. So let's hire a professional master plan to make this thing work. And I'm like, that is a great idea. And so that's what the grant is really doing. It's doing two things. One, hiring a professional consultant to write a master plan for the rifle range. And then the second part of that is we requested dollars to purchase 14 3D archery targets to set up a 3D archery field range. So as you're going down the hill, it's right there on the right, where the gate is at, it's on the other side. That's where you would do that. And with that, also 4 sighting in ranges, and then also a trailer in order to keep the 3D targets in. A 3D target, even something like a prairie dog, is a couple $100. I mean, they're not cheap, but they're also resealable, which means, the arrow goes in them and then you pull it out and it kind of self-seals on it. So if this goes through, we'll be able to, and we'll know in June, that's when we will know before that, but the disbursement would be in June. And then at that point, we would start working on the archery range right away, but then also we'd be working on getting the consultant for the master plan. So I'm pretty excited. This seems to be a project that our local community is really supporting. We're talking about Fremont County. So the mayor here was able to drum up letters of support from every municipality in the county. We also have a letter of support from a county commissioner. We also have a letter of support from Central Wyoming College, because we use the range for pistol classes that I teach, but then also we have a new criminal justice, or sorry, we have a new police academy that in all likelihood will be coming online in the fall. And there's a very good chance that we're going to be saying, hey, can we come out and train our cadets at the pistol range? And that'll be a class of 12. That's a really cool project that I just have to say, but anyway, that's coming. So, I mean, the college has some real vested interest in doing that. We also got a great letter from the Chamber of Commerce, and Jeannie did a marvelous job putting that together. She was outstanding. And then also the gun club, the rifle club put together a letter, that did that as well. And we had 12 total letters of support, which I thought was
School
pretty.
district. School district.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that. Yeah, thank you, which is really important too. And the school district was really interested in this because they would like to start a shooting sports program or teams for their students. I think that's a really cool idea. And so the superintendent was quite clear in what his intentions were with his support for the shooting range. All that would be contained in the master plan. And the master plan also it allows us to say, we have our act together. This is what we're trying to do. Here are the phases that we're looking at. And this is why we need this grant, that grant. We need support. We need donations, however we can dig up the money to be able to make that happen. So, but that was 12 letters of support from all across the county, and there really is a need. And it's not just recreation, but when we're trying to build it so you could have teams that would come in for statewide competitions. When you have 50 participants come in from across the state, where do they stay? Well, we now have a motel that's open. We have, and the mayor of Mayor Hancock from Riverton said, and we've got restaurants and hotels and all that. And of course they do. I mean, it's all, and we know we drive to Riverton, right? It's not that far away. And a lot of these people that are contestants have driven hundreds, if not a couple thousand miles to get here, so drive it to Riverton, not a big deal, so the economic impact that it had not only on Shoshoni, but our local communities really could be substantial. So I think we're in pretty good shape. Is there anything else you wanted to add? Or?
No, you did a really good job of putting that together.
Oh,
You
thank
really, really, really did. And no, and this is gonna be 7-year project, 6, 7, 8-year project, or
It's
maybe
not gonna be
10.
next year. We know that.
Yeah, it's
for
gonna,
sure.
it's something that's gonna go for a while, but you
Yeah.
need this is basically just getting a plan forward and looking at what can be done.
Yeah, so it becomes our blueprint for where we go. I think that's pretty cool. That's
No,
it, boss.
do you have any questions for Mark on that from the audience? Anybody? Good job. Councilman Whitener, do you have anything you'd like to discuss?
No, I think we've been actively enforcing and holding people to the requirement for their building permit and business license. And I could be speaking out of turn. I believe there is on 3rd Street taking place with a new business and work being done that does not currently have a business license and or a building permit.
We're on 3rd.
I don't have a list with me of all of them.
We'll look into that. Appreciate the heads up.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay. I wanted to discuss a little bit, Lisa Burridge did send me a letter to discuss our subdivision. And so I printed everybody off a copy of our subdivision and a copy of the letter. She had some suggestions for us to consider when we're looking at zoning and sort of a move forward. Yeah, so several other suggestions you didn't put down here on marketing, on how we list them for sale when we get ready to sell.
So this is not a realtor?
This is our realtor. This is the one we've been listening to, and Mark set in with a meeting.
Casper, we've been.
Mark did sit in a meeting with rural development with us and the business council, and they talked about Lisa, I think, pretty favorably. And that's rural developments who originally sent me to Lisa, because she's been involved in a lot of development. So I brought this for everybody so we have a chance, and we're gonna discuss venue, but anyway, needs more time to kind of look at it, but this was, what I went over, and I went down, met with her, we went over the map, kicked a bunch of stuff around, and suggestions on that would help us maybe help sell lots.
I'm all in favor of following her recommendations. As presented.
Yeah.
I don't know about the 1,000 square foot or 900.
Well, and I had that conversation with her, because she had recommended that before, and I like the 1,400, but that 1,200 is a compromise. She just, as she told me before, she said because it costs so much money to build a darn home. And
That's not what we agreed upon in our,
Right.
yeah, no, I know,
in our.
yeah.
Wasn't she talking about townhomes? 'Cause the sentence before that, at least in that paragraph, she's talking about townhomes and twin homes. When she says 1,000 square feet,
Right.
not single family. That's
That's
what I
not,
take it.
that's not a good paragraph. It kind of
Yeah.
Right,
puts things together that shouldn't be.
oh, right.
Yeah.
The minimum square footage was for our one, I believe.
And
She didn't address that, okay, that's still 12, that was 12.
I personally feel like we're wasting a lot of property with the streets headed to the south. Towards Britain, because. Didn't seem like Britain had any intentions of. Walking away tonight from that piece of property. So I just don't know that. You almost put another lot in there.
Well,
The 3 streets that are dead end.
that was initially my thought, but if we have the street already there, if we decide to go down that way, that's a opportunity. But I got no problem with closing the streets off there, do that different. Yeah, I thought that was. But I was advised that we should put streets there in case somewhere down the line we wanted to put utilities or anything else down there, we'd have that opportunity. The original design didn't have streets there. But we were also considering, and I don't know, part of it, we were considering part of that as a green area, but at least the place was close to the senior housing would make sense for tiny homes, and that might be all good place for.
I like the idea of the little tiny end street ends there, just because it makes it less than congested looking.
Yeah.
So comfortable for families,
Yeah.
young families.
And that also gives us more people living in town, more customers buying water.
It actually gives you less customers buying water.
No, actually,
If you remove the street, that's one more lot for a home to be built.
oh, I meant versus a green, instead we put a park there over water and all of it.
Oh, well.
But that would, that,
She knows how to sell property,
that is,
and she has a track record,
She
so
has-
I'm all for following her recommendations perfectly.
I looked at her last year, she's ranked #1 realtor in the state of Wyoming, I think 26th in the nation.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
try to tell her how to do her job.
I just looked her up.
Oh,
The-
what's your
the,
rank in the nation?
I think 26th.
Really? Wow, that's impressive.
So,
I
Councilman
do have,
Norton, anything we should follow her recommendations?
I do have one concern here.
Okay.
I'm gonna point this out, so. The way the statute is, if you're gonna have it sold by, the lot sold by a realtor, they have to be for. Potential home ownership, so the rentals would have to be done. Separate. Somehow versus just through the realtor. Selling the empty lots, if that makes sense, like maybe she could put those sections up for bid for the rental.
Oh.
units, Just the ones that are specifically for the rental. units.
Okay, we haven't even went to address how we're gonna sell it yet.
Okay.
We're not having, yeah.
I just wanna make sure that that's understood, that the rental portion would have to be. If you were to sell them as empty lots to the realtor directly. Somehow the rent portions are gonna be designated for rentals. Would have to be done somehow.
Through a bid.
Yeah, through a bid or,
Right.
God forbid we do economic development again, but something
I
like
like the
that.
bid.
There's ways legally to sell the lot.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just remember when the
Correct.
thought process goes through zoning and however you wanna do it, just remember that the portion for rentals, just have in the back of your mind,
Yeah.
that'll have to be. Probably a slightly different process.
Is she planning on coming to visually see this?
Well, I hopefully at some time she will.
Sooner than later, I think.
Right now, she has projects in Laramie, Cheyenne, and Casper. And said she was kind of short-staffed, one of the reasons she had an important member of her team retire or whatever. But she likes our project, she likes what we're doing up here. And she's got some marketing strategies. Once we get past this, well, hopefully I'll get her up here to have a great conversation with all of the council. That's my goal. But a malt shop, I could almost get her up here for a malt, but buy her a malt. We don't anymore.
I thought Tonelli's was gonna sell those.
Well, they're not selling the old original Shoshoni style malt. I had one of the malts. It's not the old Shoshoni malt. Who knows how to do that? We do have a young lady in town that knows how to do that. But that's the main thing I wanted to talk about. I could keep you another half hour if anybody wants me to, I will, if you force me to. But I would accept, if anybody don't have any more questions. You have questions, anybody? Audience, do you have questions? Nothing? I would, I have a motion to
I'll make
adjourn
the
from
motion to
Councilman
adjourn.
Hartney, second from Councilman Nordine. Any further discussion, last chance, any further discussion, none being, all in favor, say aye, that we adjourn this meeting of the Shoshoni Town Council.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed on the affirmative, 8:49. Good job, guys.